Hello, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to the podcast, and welcome to your AEW Dynamite post-show, man. And a lot of things happened on last night's episode of Dynamite. AEW presented AEW Dynamite's Holiday Bash live from England, and a lot of things did happen, some good, some bad. One good thing I will say is that we get the long-awaited return of a former AEW World Champion, and we'll get into all that stuff that happened on Dynamite in today's episode. But starting off the night, man, we have a Continental Classic tournament matchup in the Blue League. It is Jon Moxley taking on Roderick Strong. I thought it was a good match. Back and forth matchup between Moxley and Strong, with Roderick Strong keeping the pace of the match. Strong and Moxley both exchanged in the middle of the ring, with Strong hitting an angle slam on Moxley in the middle of the ring. Jon Moxley and Roderick Strong fight on the outside, with Roderick Strong dropping Moxley on the steel steps on the outside. Roderick Strong then hits a Tiger Driver on Moxley for a near fall, but Moxley somehow gets up, hits a cutter quickly on Roderick Strong for a near fall. Moxley then hits a pile driver on Roderick Strong in the middle of the ring for a near fall, followed by Strong getting up, hitting a jumping knee strike on Moxley for a near fall. Strong then applies a strong hold on Moxley, but the hold is quickly broken. Moxley then hits a paradigm shift on Strong, followed by a Death Rider, pins for the 3, and your winner of the match, in the winner of now 6 points in the Blue League in the Continental Classic Tournament, is Jon Moxley. Hats off to Jon Moxley for getting the win in this matchup. Moving on from that, we have the $1 Million Tag Team matchup, where it is the Don Callis family, Okada, Takeshita, and Hechicero, taking on Omega and the Young Bucks. Now, I thought this was a good match. I thought it was cool that the Young Bucks brought back the Being the Elite theme song. I thought that was pretty cool. Back and forth matchup between both teams, with Omega and the Bucks trying to keep the pace of the match. Omega then hits a Hurricanrana in the middle of the ring, followed by Omega hitting a moonsault. Nick Jackson then gets tagged in, hits a swanton off the top rope. Matt Jackson then hits a stunner off the apron on the outside. Nick Jackson then hits a Hurricanrana off the apron as well, followed by a Canadian Destroyer. Okada and Omega then both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Takeshita hitting a Blue Thunder Bomb in the middle of the ring. Omega then hits a V-trigger, followed by his signature One-Winged Angel, pins for the 3. And your winners of the match are Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. After the match, you can see Okada and Takeshita both attacking Omega and the Young Bucks. Some interesting stuff there between the Don Callis family and the Bucks and Kenny Omega. Following that, we have a contract signing for the AEW World title. It is a triple threat match that is taking place at World's End. Adam Page and Swerve and Samoa Joe make their way out to the ring. They're greeted by none other than Tony Schiavone. Joe pretty much grabs the microphone. He mocks Tony Schiavone. He ends up signing the contract. Joe says that at World's End, he will still leave AEW World Champion. Swerve then grabs the microphone and says that he came back to AEW for the AEW World title. Swerve says that after all the history that he's had with Page, though, he has mutual respect for Adam Page. Swerve says that he's going to take the title back at World's End. Swerve then signs the contract. Page then grabs a microphone and talks about ending the Death Riders and the fact that Samoa Joe and Swerve tried to help him by ending Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. Page then talks about beating Moxley for the world title. He also mentions that the fact that Joe is worse than the Death Riders, and the fact that Page called Samoa Joe a piece of shit. Page then says Joe won't leave World's End champion. Page then signs the contract. Schiavone then announces that it will be a triple threat match at World's End for the AEW World title. After Schiavone makes this announcement, the lights go out. Swerve, Page, and Joe are still standing in the ring with Tony Schiavone, but all of a sudden MJF's music hits, and MJF makes his way down to the ring. He quickly grabs the contract. He ends up signing the contract, and now this match is now a fatal four-way at World's End. It will be MJF, Swerve, Adam Page, and Samoa Joe at World's End for the AEW World title. MJF then mocks Page as well as Samoa Joe, calling Joe Sloppy Joe. MJF says that he needs to go down as the greatest of all time. MJF then tells Joe that his time is up as AEW World Champion. Swerve then grabs the microphone and says MJF should be afraid of him. MJF then mocks Swerve. He also mentions the history that he's had with Swerve Strickland. He also pokes fun at Swerve by saying his time at WWE was kind of wasted. He also mentioned the affiliation that Swerve had with Top Dollar when they were Hit Row in WWE, and the fact that Swerve's career in WWE didn't really go that well. So I thought that was kind of funny, kind of a jab, if you will, from MJF to Swerve. But MJF also talks about the history that he's had with Swerve Strickland by calling him Shane, and the fact that both of those guys were trying to make it on the Indies. MJF, like I said, mocks Swerve's WWE run, but MJF says that this is his house, and the rent is up, and the devil is ready to collect. Some interesting stuff there between MJF and Swerve Strickland. Moving on from that, we have an 8 women's tag team matchup. It is Marina Shafir teaming up with Megan Bayne, Athena, and Mercedes Moné to take on Toni Storm, Rina Shirakawa, and the Babes of Wrath. The match itself, it was an okay match, back and forth matchup between both teams, with Toni, Mina, and the Babes of Wrath keeping the pace of the match. Willow and Megan Bayne both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Megan Bayne hitting a Hurricane Rana in the middle of the ring. Willow then goes to the outside, hits a senton off the apron. Athena then ends up hitting her finish. I think Monet then goes for the cover, pins for the 3. And your winners of the match are Marina Shafir, Megan Bayne, Athena, and Mercedes Moné. Hats off to Shafir, Bayne, Athena, and Moné for getting the win in this matchup. And moving on from that, we go into our next match of the night. It is a Continental Classic Tournament match in the Gold League. It is Kyle Fletcher taking on Pac. Number one, I thought this was a great match. Probably match of the night for me. Back and forth matchup between Fletcher and Pac, with Fletcher keeping the pace of the match. Pac ends up hitting a Hurricane Rana on Fletcher. Fletcher and Pac both exchange in the middle of the ring, with Pac hitting a moonsault to the outside, taking out Kyle Fletcher. Pac then hits a Poison Rana on Fletcher as well. Fletcher tries to get up, get some offense in. He ends up hitting a Liger Bomb on Pac for a near fall. Pac then applies a Brutalizer on Fletcher, but the hold is broken. Fletcher then hits a Brainbuster on Pac for a near fall. Pac then gets up, hits a Poison Rana off the top rope on Kyle Fletcher. Then Pac goes to the top rope, hits his signature Black Arrow, landing on Kyle Fletcher, pins for the 3. And your winner of the match, and the winner of 6 points in the Gold League in the Continental Classic Tournament, is Pac. Hats off to Pac for getting the win in this matchup. And moving on to the main event, we have the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal. I thought it was an okay match at best, man. I'm not really a big fan of the Battle Royals. Back and forth match. We had Ricochet and Bandito, the last 2 competitors in this matchup. But the match stops. And it's announced that Ricochet versus Bandito will take place, I believe, next week for the Dynamite Diamond Ring, which I think takes place live from the Hammerstein Ballroom in New York. So it's going to be an interesting match there between Ricochet and Bandito. Couple of things I want to talk about with you guys, man, about AEW Dynamite last night before I get the hell up out of here. Number one, for those people out there, and, you know, I've seen a lot of content creators. I always watch different people's reviews. And some of them I agree with them and some of them I don't. Everybody's got their own opinions, and I get it. But for the people out there, man, that are literally just bashing the shit out of the show, it's getting to a point, and don't get me wrong, and I'm not going to sit here and try to be a hypocrite and say that I don't bash AEW. But I also told you guys, if the show's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. If it's shit, it's shit. I don't think last night's show was necessarily that bad. And it wasn't completely about MJF, which we will get to in a second and how I feel about MJF's return. I don't think the show was that bad. I really genuinely don't. I mean, Strong and Jon Moxley, it was a solid match. It could have been a lot better. I know some people are even going out of the way that they're shitting on the Continental Classic Tournament. Look, bro, at the end of the day, this Continental Classic Tournament, in my opinion, is way better than what we got in the Last Time Is Now tournament. That Last Time Is Now tournament was all over the goddamn place, bro. Seriously. And there's people out here, man, that are glazing WWE and how much better they are than AEW. And at the end of the day, yeah, there's a lot of things about WWE that are better than AEW. Some good, some bad. But I can tell you right now, man, that Last Time Now Is tournament compared to the Continental Classic tournament, it is night and day, bro. I mean, look at the goddamn narrative, bro. I mean, The Miz lost clean in the tournament. Whatchamacallit got hurt, and then they brought The Miz back in just to take another L. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Really? Like, there's so many content creators out here, man, that are just glazing WWE, and it's fucking sickening, bro. It really is. Like, at the end of the day, man, it's one of those things where, I watch so many content creators, and I am going to say this because this shit's starting to get on my goddamn nerves. Where you have these people out here, man, that are just literally bashing them just to bash them. Like, I understand that there is logic gaps out the wazoo for AEW. I fucking get it. You know what I'm saying? I understand the severity of the fact that AEW is lacking storylines. It's been the same MO for AEW for the past almost 3 fucking years. I get it. And I've been at the forefront holding that flag myself, telling people that AEW needs storylines like people need oxygen. I have been saying that shit now every goddamn week for the past few months. And I told you guys that AEW for the past 2.5 years has been a sinking fucking ship. But it's getting to a point, and I told you guys, I mean, you had people that were complaining and whining about, oh, there's too much blood in a blood and guts match. Bro, it's literally called blood and guts. Shut the fuck up. Shut up. Like, seriously, oh, well, we only need the blood in special moments. The fucking event is called Blood and Guts. What do you honestly think is going to fucking happen? Honestly. Like, legitimately. And if we're going back in time for 2 seconds when it pertains to Blood and Guts and we're comparing apples to fucking oranges with WWE and AEW, I'm going to let y'all know this right now. That women's Blood and Guts match surpassed whatever the hell they did for that women's War Games matchup at Survivor Series in San Diego. Hands down. So for those people out there that are glazing WWE, oh, it's so much better. Yeah, no, it's fucking not, dude. You know how many people were completely and utter... There's still people that are pissed off to no end at the bullshit finish that we got between Gunther and John Cena. There is people at the floodgates that are pissed off at the outcome of that Cena's last match against Gunther. Pissed off. And I gave my gripes about that shit. I told you guys that I did not like the finish of that goddamn match. I understand the outcome of it, and they're trying to make Gunther the greatest heel right now in pro wrestling. But do you really trust Triple H and the powers that be and the regime that he has right now to facilitate that idea? Come on, bro. We had to have a fucking tournament just to have Gunther be John Cena's last opponent. When Cena made comments about the future of WWE. When, in fact, this tournament only had one NXT talent in that entire fucking tournament with Javon Evans, who, off-rip, faced Gunther in the goddamn tournament. Give me a fucking break, man. For those people out there that are shitting on the Continental Classic, stop watching AEW. Seriously, stop watching it. Because you can't sit here and honestly tell me with a straight face that the Last Time Is Now tournament is way better or surpasses right now what the Continental Classic tournament is doing. Get the fuck out of here. Are you kidding me right now? Seriously. And not for nothing, let's give you guys another little update here for those people that are glazing WWE. There's 2 matches right now off-rip in this Continental Classic tournament with the same goddamn guy that's putting on banger matches. We got one last night between Kyle Fletcher and Pac. Fantastic match. And then we go back to Kyle Fletcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey, which I believe took place last week on Dynamite. Which, again, it was an absolute goddamn banger. How many matches in this in that Last Time Is Now tournament you can say, damn, you know what, that was a really good-ass match. How many? What, Gunther and Solo Sikoa? Yeah, I'll give him that. Gunther brought the best out of Solo Sikoa since Solo Sikoa's been on the goddamn main roster. I will give him that. But how many matches on paper can you say in that tournament where you're like, oh man, that was a banger match? Come on, bro. Get the fuck out of here. Like, I'm so sick and tired of the engagement shit of AEW and people just hating on AEW just because because they're pissed off. We've gotten the same shit, bro, for almost 3 fucking years. 3 years. And the people out there that are shitting on AEW constantly and continuously are acting like AEW and the powers that be are actually legitimately listening to what the fuck you're talking about. They don't fucking care what you got to say, dude. They don't care. Why? Because Tony Khan's delusional and he believes that what he's doing is working. So he doesn't give a rat's ass what you think. And clearly he doesn't give a shit what the fans think because of the way he's been booking this show for the past 2.5 fucking years. Like, just stop it, man. Take what you can get out of the show and then move on from it. If you found something about the show that you enjoyed, you take it and you move on from it. I enjoyed the Kyle Fletcher versus Pac match, just like I enjoyed Kyle Fletcher versus Speedball Mike Bailey last week in the Continental Classic tournament. But for people out there saying that, oh yeah, the Last Time Is Now tournament was way better than this Continental Classic shit, you have lost your fucking mind. I'm tired of that shit, bro. I'm tired of it. It's so fucking... And people are like, oh, you know, there's no hatred between it. Yeah, there is. Because there's so many people out here, bro, that are just... It's transparent. It really is. And they know who the hell they are. There's people out here that are kissing Triple H's ass. And they know exactly who the hell they are. And if something don't go right with AEW, oh, they need to go over to NXT. They need to... Dude, what is NXT honestly really fucking doing at this point? Nobody fucking knows. They just dropped the ball, mind you, speaking of NXT, with the whole Blake Monroe match that she just had, where she lost the Women's North American Championship over a goddamn botch. So much so that Blake Monroe blasted NXT on Twitter by that little, Twitter header they put on their NXT Twitter page, and Monroe got pissed off about it and made comments about it. But she lost that goddamn belt over a goddamn botch. So clearly NXT's not that much better either. You know what I'm saying? Like, the whole, it gets to a fucking point, man, where it's just like, wow. You know what I mean? And I sit here and watch all these other content creators, you know what I mean? And I enjoy some of their shows, I enjoy some of their content. But sometimes, bro, when you hear some of these people talk, it's like, god damn, dude. The glaze that they're putting on WWE, it's absolutely fucking insane. It's insane, bro. And I'm not sitting here saying that AEW is way better than WWE. I'm not saying it at all. I've never even said that from day one. But I know damn well a few weeks back, I even said that with AEW and the way things are going right now for AEW, you had to take what you can get out of it. I think the Continental Classic tournament's been really good. It could be better. Could be a hell of a lot better, but it's not that bad of a tournament. I think it's better than what we got in the Last Time Is Now tournament, if I'm being abundantly honest. And I stand on business with this. I think the way AEW handled Sting's retirement tour and his retirement match was way better put together than what WWE did for John Cena, hands down. And I stand on business with that shit. I believe WWE and the powers that be dropped the fucking ball with John Cena and his retirement tour and his last match. They dropped the goddamn ball. And I think there was some ego shit going on backstage, maybe with Hunter or the powers that be. Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Because even after that match happened with Gunther and John Cena, and at the finish, Gunther even had to look at the referee and ask him, did he tap out? Did he tap out? He didn't even know what the fuck was going on. You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck are we doing here, man? Seriously. You know, I didn't think last night was that bad. I enjoyed the fact that people were like, oh, well, I don't know what's going on with Kenny Omega and the Young Bucks. Look, I'm a firm believer. And I've been saying this shit now for I don't know how long. They need to go back to what brought them to the goddamn dance. If you want to reunite the Elite, by all means, go ahead and do it. You want to bring back the old school song and all that shit, the Super Kick Party, by all means, go ahead. Because at this point, what is left for the Young Bucks? What is left for Kenny Omega? At this goddamn point. I can understand people's frustration, which it's bouncing back and forth. They hate each other. They don't like each other. They hate each other. They don't like each other. What else is there to do for the Young Bucks in a tag team division that is deflating, bro? There is no goddamn tag team division. You look at that goddamn Battle Royal, you had, Max Caster and Anthony Bowens in that fucking Battle Royal last night, competing for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. Why are we not reuniting Max Caster and Anthony Bowens as the Acclaimed again? Because not for nothing, AEW ain't got no goddamn tag team division. Here's a little other mindset, too. If I was Isaiah Cassidy and Mark Quinn, I'd get the fuck out of Dodge when it pertains to AEW, because there is no fucking tag team division. There's none, bro. What was it, last week or the week before that? The first time we seen the Death Riders in I don't know how long. Or not the Death Riders, I'm sorry. The Dark Order. Evil Uno, Alex Reynolds, and John Silver. When's the last time you've seen those guys on Dynamite? I'll tell you exactly when the last time. Before that time you saw them on Dynamite, they were getting their ass kicked by the Death Riders. When all this shit started happening with the Death Riders. That's how long it's been. Other than that, they've been on Ring of Honor or, I don't know, Evil Uno's playing video games on Twitch. Come on, bro. Like, what the fuck are we doing here? You know what I'm saying? That's the shit I'm talking about, man. Like, people, oh, yeah, AEW is so bad. What is WWE's doing that's so fucking great? What, Damian Priest and Aleister Black? That shit's been dragging ass, bro, since this shit's going down. Now, let's add Zelina Vega into the mix. Oh, you know what? Let's add Rhea Ripley and reunite the Terror Twins again, because we're going to get Damian Priest a lighter schedule because he's injured. They don't know what the fuck to do with Damian Priest. Just like they don't know what the hell to do with LA Knight. And here's another thing, too. If I was LA Knight, I'd get the hell out of Dodge, bro. Get the fuck out. Get out. People say, oh, yeah, 2026 is going to be a big year for LA Knight. Bro, he's been there for how long? How long? 4 years? What the fuck are we doing? What is the delay? What is the delay for LA Knight to be in the main event scene? To be a world champion? What is the fucking holdup? Oh, we're going to push him in 2026. Yeah, bro, I'll see it when I believe it. Because you said the same shit about Finn Balor and have him go back after the Universal title. When the hell is that happening? Finn Balor hasn't even touched the goddamn Universal Championship since he had to vacate it due to injury when he first won it. He hasn't even came close to the fucking title. And I'm supposed to believe that you're going to give LA Knight a fucking serious main event run and a main event push going into 2026? Yeah, bullshit. So like I said, for those people out there that are, oh yeah, Tony Khan and AEW, man, that's bullshit over there. Bro, WWE ain't no fucking better. It's not. It's not. And I can tell you right now, bro, if Gunther takes an L before WrestleMania, that whole thing they did with John Cena was a dud. Was a dud. 100% dud. He better not even contemplate losing before WrestleMania this year. Or going into the new year. The minute that guy takes an L, it's over. Absolutely. Now, was there things about the show last night that I liked? Yeah, I didn't mind being the Elite with the Young Bucks and bringing back that theme song. I thought it was good. I thought the match was actually entertaining, to be honest. Now, am I tired of the concept of the $1 million tag team matches? Yeah, hopefully after last night, that shit's over. Because it's getting old. The Monopoly money's running out, folks. It's getting old. But did I mind the tag team matchup in itself between the Bucks, Omega, and Don Callis family? No, I did not. Now, have they been tinkering this goddamn storyline in our faces between Okada and Takeshita for the past, I don't know, 4 weeks? Yeah. The well's running dry, folks. The match needs to fucking happen. I've been saying that shit. Takeshita and Okada needs to happen. I even made comments and tried to book the match myself. You currently right now have Takeshita as the IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, representing New Japan Pro Wrestling. You have Okada, who seemingly is walking around with 3 goddamn titles, like he's walking around like he's Misawa or Kawada from All Japan Pro Wrestling with the Triple Crown belt. So, Okada has the title, or titles. You have, Takeshita representing New Japan with holding the IWGP World Heavyweight Championship. You can do a title versus title match at World's End. Why the hell not? What the fuck are you waiting for? Seriously. The match makes itself. The story is in itself because these guys were in the Don Callis family. Don Callis even made comments last night that Takeshita was one of the first people to join the Don Callis family. Story writes itself. Both these guys are in the Don Callis family. Obviously, there's hostility between both these guys. They want to be the number one guy in the Don Callis family. Let's have a match. Why not? What the fuck are we waiting for? Seriously. You need to have the match. The match writes itself. So that, yes, that does piss me off. That match needs to happen. But the tag team matchup last night between the Bucks and the Don Callis family, I thought was not a bad match. Moxley and Roderick Strong, again, wasn't that bad of a match. We also get Pac versus Fletcher, which I thought was probably match of the night, in my honest opinion. Fletcher has done a fantastic job. Fletcher is a guy that can be the future of this company for the next 10 years. I said that about Fletcher. I said that about MJF. I said that about Darby Allin. These are the guys that are going to move AEW in a different direction moving forward and build towards the future. Kevin Knight is another one. You can build with that future. Younger stars to project AEW into the future. And Kyle Fletcher's at the top of the realm of that. Absolutely. That guy can wrestle like nobody's business. And he's done a fantastic job in the Continental Classic tournament, in my opinion. That match he had with Pac, fantastic. The match he had with Speedball Mike Bailey, awesome match. Awesome match. And then we get the contract signing, which was a schedule originally as a triple threat match between Joe, Swerve, and Paige. And then we finally get the long-awaited return after being gone from TV for 3 goddamn months. We get the long-awaited return of MJF, which, not for nothing, he is sorely needed. Sorely needed for AEW. They needed a change. They needed a household name to bring some limelight back into this company, and MJF is that guy. Now, for those people out there, and they know who they are, that said, oh, there's no other stars in the company besides MJF. Bullshit. Bullshit, bro. Because I could tell you this right now. If we didn't have the likes of a Swerve Strickland in AEW, if we didn't have the likes of Adam Page if we didn't have the likes of a Will Ospreay. There would be no goddamn AEW. MJF cannot carry this company on his back by himself. Now, I'll say this. If MJF were to decide to walk out the door of AEW and go over to WWE, it would be an ultimate gut punch to AEW. But he is not the sole guy that's going to carry this company on his back, because at the end of the day, you had to ask yourself this question. If, in fact, he wins the AEW World title, which I'm all for that, who's he going to defend that belt against, bro? Mark Briscoe? Speedball Mike Bailey? You know what I mean? Hechicero? Who is he going to challenge? Who is he going to defend that belt against, bro? That's suitable challengers and competitors for that title. Without the likes of a Swerve Strickland, without the likes of an Adam Page, and without the likes of a Will Ospreay. You need these guys to carry this company to the future. Because you have no main event scene right now. You have no main event scene that's actually worth a damn right now. And I'm going to tell you this right now, too. When Will Ospreay does decide to come back, and he is healthy, in a full bill of health, and he is ready to come back and compete inside of an AEW ring, the minute he walks through that door and his music hits, that place is going to erupt. Wherever the hell they are, whether it's somewhere in the States or somewhere overseas, that arena or theater or whatever the hell they're at is going to erupt. Because Ospreay's a household name. Ospreay is a guy that could carry this company into the future. And for those people out there saying, oh, well, there's no other stars besides MJF, get the fuck out of here, bro. Clearly, you're glazing MJF, and you don't give a shit about nothing else but MJF in this company. Stop watching the product. Seriously, stop watching it. We're tired of you bitching. We're tired of you complaining. It's getting old. You know what I'm saying? Seriously. Oh, well, MJF's going over to WWE. Oh, he needs to go. He needs to go. Bro, just say you love WWE and shut the fuck up. Seriously. It's getting old, man. Like, it's getting pathetic. It really is. And it's so fucking transparent, it's unreal. Oh, we need I don't want AEW to close. Then why stop talking shit? You act like you're the people that do that, bro. They act like they're the voice of reason and they're the voice of change. No, you're not. No, you're not. No, you're not. Because at the end of the day, if you were and Tony Khan gave a shit about what the fans thought, this company would have changed 2.5 fucking years ago. It's not like it's automatically going to drop on a dime, bro. Like, it's stop, man. The shit's getting old, bro. I can't stand that shit with certain content creators because they're willing just to, oh, you know what, the hell with AEW. Oh, you know what, oh, WWE is so great. No, it's not, man. It's not. And people want to glaze the shit out of them. And it's like, bro, shut the fuck up. Shut up. MJF's the only guy that can carry this AEW company into the future. No, the fuck it's not, bro. It's not. And yeah, while he's a star and he's making movies and all this other shit, I get that. But you saying that MJF is the only star in the company that can carry this company into the future, and Swerve and Ospreay and all these other people are not stars or not moving AEW in the right direction, bro. Even if MJF decides to win the Triple B back, great. Who's he going to defend that fucking title against, bro, when Tony Khan's not even building stars up now? So when you don't have the likes of an MJF Swerve or Adam Page or a Will Ospreay, then where's AEW really going to sit right now, bro? So to sit there and say that these people are not stars of this company, get the fuck out of here. There would be no fucking AEW. This company would be done if there was no MJF, if there was no Will Ospreay, if there was no Swerve, no Adam Page. These are household names right now in this company because, like I said, AEW and Tony Khan and the powers that be are not building for the future. Darby Allin's also in that mix. Jon Moxley's also in that mix. That are carrying this company on their back. It's no individual I and team in this shit. There's not. Because unfortunately, when these people like MJF take time off to film a movie or some shit, it's hurting this company. Now, I'm not putting all the blame on MJF. There's a lot of blame on Tony Khan and AEW and the powers that be. It's because they're not building for the future. They're not building stars. They're not building storylines. But if you ain't got some of these top stars in this company, bro, because you're not building for the future, it's going to hurt this goddamn company. Look what happened when Cody Rhodes left. Look what happened when CM Punk left, bro. Fans left in droves after CM Punk left. In droves. So don't sit here and tell me that MJF's the only person that's a star in this company. Yeah, he's a star. He's making movies. He's doing his thing. I get that. But he's not the only person that's carrying this company on his fucking back. He's not. Because not for nothing, even if there were to be a snowball chance in hell that AEW somehow goes out of business completely, a lot of these talents you see in AEW are not going to go over to WWE, bro, because they're not interested. So these people, these men and women, are going to lose their jobs, and they're going to go back on the indies, making bullshit money. Where I want to see AEW succeed, I would like to have a little bit of story to go along with these matches and these pay-per-views that these people, everybody out here with their hard-working money are spending $40 to $50 a pop on these pay-per-views. We just want story. But there ain't no I in team. There's not, it's just MJF and AEW. No, shut the fuck up. That shit gets on my fucking nerves so much. Stop with the glazing shit. Stop, it's MJF or nothing. Fuck off. Fuck off. Can't stand that shit, bro. I told you guys from the jump, I'm one of the realest ones that does this shit. When it's good, I'll tell y'all it's good. When it's bad, it's bad. I'm not sitting here rubbing shoulders. I'm out here, you know what, I'm a big fan of MJF. Or nah, bro. Because the same motherfuckers that are talking this shit right now about Swerve and shit, Swerve's not a star. But you were kissing Swerve's ass when Swerve was going up against Adam Page in one of the best storylines of AEW. But now that he's in a world title match, and because MJF's back, to hell with Swerve Strickland. But you were kissing his ass and glazing his ass when he came back and had that match against Adam Page. But because MJF walked through the door and said, hey, I'm back, the hell with Swerve, hell with Adam Page, hell with Samoa Joe, the hell with that Will Ospreay. Come on, bro. Stop with the glazing shit. Seriously. It's a fucking joke, man. That's why it's so hypocritical with people, bro. It really is. You know what, the hell with Swerve Strickland, man. He ain't no star. He ain't no superstar. But those same people that are saying that were kissing Swerve's ass when he was going up against Adam Page. Glazing him. Swerve's the beast. It's Swerve's how. This, that, and the third. But now that MJF walked back to the goddamn door, the hell with Swerve. He ain't no star. It's like, bro, you're so fucking transparent. It's unreal. For those people out there saying that shit about Swerve. Because like I said, and I'll say it one last time, those people that are saying that about Swerve were kissing Swerve's ass when he was competing against Adam Page. So again, shut the fuck up. And I'm not sitting here saying that Adam Page had the most elaborate title run. I'm not. But the one thing that does save Adam Page in that entire title run situation was that he was the guy out of everybody to finally take the goddamn title away from the fucking Death Riders because Moxley had it captive in the briefcase for fucking 8 months to a year. So I'll give Adam Page that, which he made a valid point last night, that he was the only guy to dethrone Jon Moxley and the Death Riders and once again become AEW World Champion and release it from the hands of Jon Moxley and the Death Riders. A title that, like I said, was stuck in a goddamn briefcase that we hadn't seen in almost a goddamn year. Or over a year. Like, get the fuck out of here, bro. Are you serious? Are you mental? Are you slow? Like, what the fuck are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that pisses me off to the moon and back, man. MJF's the only star. Okay, bro. Wait till Will Ospreay walks back through those fucking doors in AEW and see the ovation and pop that he gets when he walks back through that fucking door. To be honest with you. The ace is back, is what they say. Okay, sure. Ace has been gone for 3 months, bro. Will we even have this conversation right now if Swerve and Will Ospreay they did not get injured and were still competing? Ask yourself that question. Because I'm going to tell you right now, bro, if we're talking from in-ring ability, I'm taking Will Ospreay over MJF any day of the week. As far as being in-ring wrestle, yeah. Oh, hell yeah. Promo, yeah, you got to give it to MJF, hands down. But in-ring ability and wrestle, Will Ospreay over MJF, hands down. He's grilling the microphone. MJF is the complete package. I'm not sitting here saying that he's not. He can wrestle. He cuts a promo. Sure. When he talks, you want to stop what you're doing and listen to what he's got to say. But there's other people that have microphone skills that when they talk, you want to listen. Eddie Kingston's a prime example of that. When that guy talks, you listen. When LA Knight talks in WWE, you sit down, you listen. When John Cena talks and cuts a promo, you sit down, you listen. Complete package. You know what I'm saying? It's not just MJF. Now, am I glad that he's back? Absolutely. I've been saying for the past few weeks, past few months, that they desperately need to have MJF come back. But for those people out there that are saying that there's no other superstars or stars in this company besides MJF, you can go pound sand and fuck off. Go touch grass. But to sit there and say that he's the only star in this company, after what we saw with Swerve and Page, what Will Ospreay has done, you're going to sit there and say that the only star in this company is MJF? Sure. That's the shit that pisses me off with certain content creators. And they know who they are. And people that are out there just glazing WWE. They know who they are. I don't have to mention names. They know who they are. You guys know who they are. People out here that are kissing WWE's ass and trying to rub shoulders with these people to get in their good graces. That's not me. And when AEW is bad, I will tell you it's bad. It's a shit show. When it's good, I'm going to tell you it's good. And I think last night's show was not that bad, to be honest with you. And I think there's other people out there that will say the same thing that I have been preaching this entire time, that the show was not that bad. But for those people out there saying that MJF is the sole star of AEW, go pound sand and fuck off. Honestly. Because there is Swerve. There is Adam Page. There is Will Ospreay. Darby Allin. At one time, and here's the other thing too. If we're going to put everybody on the shelf right now, what about Bryan Danielson? Even though he's technically not competing right now. But you're still saying MJF's the only star? Did you see what Bryan Danielson did in his AEW career? The matches he had? The match he had against Swerve for the AEW World title, where if Bryan Danielson would have lost, he would have retired. He beat Swerve for the AEW World Championship. He had the Final Countdown playing. He won the title. He beat Swerve, became AEW World Champion. He was greeted by his wife and his kids. That's a moment. That's a moment. And he was a superstar, and he had great matches. Great matches. Sting, great matches, great moments. It's not just about MJF, bro. It's not. I'm not saying you're saying that MJF doesn't play a vital component or a piece of what AEW is. I'm not saying he's not. But to sit there and go out of the way and say that he is the only star of AEW, come on, man. Come on. Seriously. Then honestly, don't watch AEW, then go back and just go on YouTube and type in MJF highlights, and there you go. Stop watching AEW's product. Seriously. Because all you're doing is glazing MJF, bro. It's sad. It's pathetic. It honestly is pathetic. I'm glad that he's back. I am. And I think the Fatal 4-Way match is going to be very interesting and very telling. And it's going to be a very good match. But for those people out there saying that he's the only star of the company, come on, bro. Come on. Get the fuck out of here. Get out of here. Because there's so many other stars in this company. If they do it correctly, they can build stars, bro. For example, Takeshita. Takeshita could be a star if he got the hell away from Don Callis. I mean, this is a guy that won the G1 Climax in New Japan recently. Became IWGP World Heavyweight Champion, representing New Japan as well, even though he's working with AEW. If Takeshita got away from the Don Callis family, Takeshita would be one of the top guys in AEW. He'd be one of the main eventers, hands down. And here's another news flash for people that are saying, oh, MJF's the only star. Okay. But here's my rebuttal with that shit. You sit there and say that. Now, this was a time where MJF was being showcased on AEW television before he took a hiatus for 3 months to go film a goddamn movie. So we're going to put it in the same mindset of the fact that he was working in AEW and he wasn't taking time off. But for those people out there saying, oh, he's the only star, he's the main attraction for AEW, okay. He's immensely over, more than anybody else. He's the main star. All right. Then why is it that the Hurt Syndicate, being that it was MVP Bobby Lashley and Shelton Benjamin, were almost more over than MJF? Answer me that question. And that was before they were really doing any kind of storyline there with MJF that fell flat on its ass. They were more over than the day one talent that was there. The same people that are glazing MJF even said it themselves, how much the Hurt Syndicate are over. They're getting more of an ovation and pop than MJF is. Again, MJF's not the only star of AEW, bro. I'm glad he's back. I'm glad that he is in the world title picture right now. I'm glad he didn't come back to be a part of that bullshit Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal that made no sense at all, and I wish they would scrap that idea. That was one of the biggest negatives coming out of AEW Dynamite last night. The other big negative I would say as well with AEW Dynamite was that women's tag team matchup. Willow no-sold the shit out of that Athena's finish, and nobody really knew what the fuck was going on. And with Willow and the Babes of Wrath, if you will, with Harley Cameron, just recently winning the women's tag team titles and then take an L and take the pinfall in that matchup last night tells you really what the agenda is here for the women's tag team titles. They have no plans for those women's tag team titles. None. There's even a rumor and speculation that they're going to defend those titles against Athena and Mercedes Moné at World's End. That's a rumor, and speculated rumor that's going to happen at World's End. So what, are they going to drop the belts? What, their first title defense? There's no tag team division for the women. There's no reason why Megan Bayne and Marina Shafir should still be a tag team. There's no reason why Athena and Mercedes Moné need to be a tag team. There's no reason for it. They're makeshift tag teams because there is no tag team division for the Babes of Wrath to defend those women tag team titles in. Just period end. So like I said, with some positives with AEW last night, there are some negatives. I thought the women's tag team match, like I mentioned a minute ago, dog shit. Absolute dog shit. And the Dynamite Diamond Ring Battle Royal, it's useless, bro. They need to scrap that entire idea for the Dynamite Diamond Ring. So again, I'm not sitting here saying that, oh, AEW was so great last night. For those people out there always glazing AEW. No. But I'm not going to sit here and go out of my way and lie and say that the show was complete dog shit last night when it wasn't. Because those people that are saying that, they're just looking for clicks, man. That's all it is. And clearly they just don't like the product. And then go over to WWE and watch Raw and SmackDown, bro. Because I can tell you right now, SmackDown ain't no better. And the fact that WWE is going to have SmackDown going into the new year at 3 hours with the roster they currently have, oh, man. You want to talk about comparing apples to oranges, bro. Holy shit. SmackDown 3 hours with the roster they got right now, they better do something and do it quick. They better be entertaining some call-ups from NXT, whether it's Obafemi, Jordan Grace, Ethan Page, somebody needs to be called up from NXT to the main roster because SmackDown main roster right now and the main event scene is an absolute joke. And yeah, I heard through the grapevine that Jacob Fatu is on his way back. Great. But you're going to need more than Jacob Fatu for a 3-hour SmackDown. I can tell you that shit right now. SmackDown is a sinking ship, man. So for those people out there that are glazing WWE, you got to get the hell up out of here with that shit because SmackDown has literally been in the toilet for I don't know how long now. Playing the backseat. No one gives a shit about Solo Sikoa and the MFTs and all that bullshit. The Wyatt Six are definitely not the same once debuted on Monday Night Raw a while back ago. A lot of shit has changed. I mean, hell, people were so nervous that at War Games this year, they were going to have the MFTs taking on the Wyatt Six, and nobody, and I mean nobody, wanted that shit. Nobody. So again, it's not that much better than what AEW is doing. And you can kick rocks with that shit. I can't stand that, bro. I really can't. And I'll tell you guys, when the shit's bad, I'll tell you it's bad. But when it's good or halfway decent, it's good or halfway decent. I feel like nowadays, man, a lot of these content creators are out here just trying to nitpick certain things just to piss them off so they have something else to talk about. Because they're having a hard time trying to give people reviews or reactions to AEW's product. And don't watch the product, bro. Because I feel like at this point, you're just nitpicking at small shit just to piss yourself off. That way you had something to say negative about the product of AEW. Shut the fuck up and move on, bro. Seriously. It's getting old. It's getting annoying. It's aggravating as hell. And you sound like a broken record. You need to find something within AEW or the confines of AEW that you genuinely actually enjoy. Because certain content creators out there, man, it seems like they can't enjoy a goddamn thing from this company. Then move on, bro. Seriously. Yeah, there's things about AEW that I wish would change. Storylines, there's loopholes. I wish we had story and logic that made sense. I agree with everybody on that same boat with that shit. I do. But there are matches and small moments within AEW that, like I said, bro, you got to take a little bit of anything that you can and ride off to the sunset with it. If you enjoyed it as a fan, then okay, it wasn't that bad. Could it have been better? Sure, but I'm not going to sit here and nitpick and say, well, it could have been a lot better. You get what you can get. And I'm not sitting here saying, oh, well, if they give you, like, for example, if you go to a restaurant, they give you some food or It's a food you don't like. Well, it is what it is. Just eat it. Obviously, you're not going to eat it if you pay for it. I'm not sitting here saying that. But what I'm saying to you is if they give you something that you technically enjoy, then don't bitch about it that much, bro, because you actually enjoyed it. You didn't mind it. You actually enjoyed it. You liked it. Not everything in pro wrestling is going to be fit to what you want. That's not the way the world works, bro. And there's so many content creators out here, they're like, oh, well, this needs to happen. You're trying to mold AEW's product into something that person personally wants or personally likes. It's not going to happen, bro. It's not the way the world works. It's not going to be molded into your image. It's not the way it's going to work. You don't own the company. You don't own AEW. You don't own the wrestlers. You don't own the product. Shut the fuck up. Now, I'm not going to sit here and say that things couldn't have got better for AEW. They could, and they need to. But for me as a fan, right now with AEW, I take what I can get out of it. If I enjoyed something out of it, okay, I enjoyed it. Could things get better? Yeah. And I'm not sitting here saying that, okay, I'll just take what they can give me. No, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying to you is, as of right now, rather than bitching and complaining week in and week out about AEW, try to find something that you actually enjoy and take ownership of it. Be like, yeah, you know what, it wasn't that bad. Rather than sit here every single week, bro, and bitch and complain every single week. You sound like a broken record, bro. It's exhausting. Mentally, it's exhausting. So just take what you can get out of it and move on and hope that maybe AEW will eventually get their shit together and they'll figure this shit out. But if it gets to a point, any content creator, it gets to a point where if you can't handle the show anymore and you're sitting there saying the same old spiel every single week, bro, then move the fuck on. Because it's honestly, it's like a definition of insanity. You're still watching the same product, hoping something's going to be different. After you keep watching the same old shit or the same movie all the time, hoping that you see something different, or I don't remember seeing that. It's like a definition of insanity. It's like, knock it the fuck off, dude. It's crazy. If you don't like the product or the way things are running in AEW, then move on. Me, yeah, things can get better, but there's things that it could be anything. It could be anything in AEW that if I enjoy it, yeah, I'm going to enjoy it, bro. There's a lot of content creators out here too, and again, I don't want to talk y'all's ear off, but there's a lot of content creators out here that are still, not only preying on AEW's downfall, but they're also going back in the Rolodex of time, bro, and still salivating at what NXT Black and Gold did. Oh, it was so good. And NXT Black and Gold was great. I think a lot of people, including myself, we were all spoiled with what we got with NXT Black and Gold. From the commentary from Mauro Ranallo to the storylines we got in NXT, the matches, the moments, the storylines, it was all, the entire package of NXT Black and Gold was awesome. But there's so many content creators out here, and they know who they are, that are still dwelling on what we got with NXT Black and Gold, and they're hoping that they can get it with AEW. It's not going to happen. It's just not. And rightfully so, bro. It's two different companies. Two different ownerships. Two different rosters. It's not going to be the same. It's going to be different. You know what I mean? And I think a lot of people just need to let what NXT Black and Gold did and just let it go. Move on. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, we were spoiled with what we got with NXT Black and Gold, bro, but it's no longer here. And the NXT now doesn't even hold a candle to what NXT Black and Gold did. Not even fucking close. So we have to move on, bro. Like, you had to take bits and pieces of shit that you like and enjoy it. And if you can't, then clearly you shouldn't be doing what you're doing right now with being a content creator. You can sit here and bitch and complain every single week that you want to, but at the end of the day, they're not going to change what they want to do because you're not liking the way shit's playing out on television. Because you don't see it fit the way you want to see it. Well, the world don't revolve around you. And just because it might be something that you like doesn't mean the rest of the world's going to like that shit either. You know what I'm saying? And I hate that shit with people. A lot of people have this premonition where like the sun rises to sit on your asses, and it don't. Nobody owes nobody nothing. You know what I'm saying? Nobody. You got to go out there and earn that shit and work for it. And that's the shit that pisses me off with some of these people, bro, because it's like, well, they need to do this. They need to do that. I don't understand this. I don't understand that. Why they need to do this? They need to, bro, then go try to work for AEW. Go ahead and be a head writer for AEW. There's people out here that are bashing the writing team for AEW. Okay, then go write. Go write. If you think what you can do is so much better, then go ahead and write. But you got to have the cojones to go do it. Stop bitching and complaining about it. Go do it. Stop talking about it. Be about it. Back up your bullshit. That's just my mindset, bro. I go into every time I do these episodes, I back up my bullshit. I stand on business, and I don't talk about it. I be about it. That's how I was raised. That's how I grew up, and that's why we're here. You want authenticity? You want genuine reaction? Not some shit that's bullshit or trying to, and there's so many content creators out here that are trying to be a character, if you will, quote unquote. No, bro, it's just me. That's it. I give it to y'all straight. I'm not going to bullshit y'all. I'm not going to sugarcoat shit just because, I'm trying to rub shoulders with these people and get in the good graces of AEW and WWE. No. At the end of the day, if you're somebody that does what I'm doing here as a content creator, as someone that reviews AEW's product or WWE or just wrestling news in general, at the end of the day, you're being a journalism for pro wrestling. You're giving out news, notes, and rumors and giving people reviews about pro wrestling that either they don't know what's going on or they want to know what's going on, and you have the know-it-all to know what's going on. And you're relaying that information to your audience, to your community. You know what I'm saying? Everybody has an opinion. You know what I'm not sitting here saying that people don't. And I'm not sitting here saying that my opinion or the way I talk about pro wrestling is always right. But I'm not trying to mold that into my own image. All I want is a little bit of story. Doesn't have to be the story that I want. Just a story. A story that somewhat makes sense. That's it. I'm not trying to change exactly what AEW is doing. I just want a little bit of story. The when, the where, and the why. When did this happen? Where is this going to happen? And why did this happen? That's all I want. That's it. I'm not saying this person needs to go and they need to go to NXT or WWE. No, I'm not saying that. I just want storyline. Progression. No loopholes, just storyline. The when, the where, and the why. Just to make sense of where we're going. The direction of this company. The direction of these matches. I think it will go a long way for AEW and benefit AEW immensely. It's the same thing with WWE too. Sometimes their storylines fall flat on their ass. You know what I'm saying? So it's... I don't know, man. It's just one of those things where, like, I respect a lot of the content creators that do this. I really do. I really do. And they've been doing this a lot longer than I have. Hands down. And I'm not going to sit here and be like, you know what, I got to sit at the table. I'm not sitting here saying that. That takes time. But I'm also not an idiot. And I'm not sitting here where it's like, I'm going to let them, people are going to say what they want to say, yada, yada, yada. Okay, say what you want to say, bro. But it does get to a point, even as a fan of these content creators and certain people that do this, it does get old, bro, when you hear the same old shit every single week. Like, if you just don't, take a break, man. You know what I'm saying? Well, it takes money away out of my pocket, blah, blah, blah. Then find something about the show that you fucking like. Or stop bitching about it, man. Seriously. It gets to a point where it's like, bro, come on. Seriously. And there's some people out there that will glaze WWE shit when it's so fucking bad. And they know who they are, too. They're all over TikTok and shit and everything else. Oh, my God, oh, my God. They'll break down in tears and all this other shit. Like, man, touch grass, bro. There's, there's other shit to have a life beside, you know what I mean? Like, damn, bro. Like, I love doing what I'm doing. And I love doing this podcast stuff, man. I love giving out content to you guys and giving you my genuine reactions and giving you guys this reviews and news and rumors of pro wrestling. I love doing that stuff, man. I'm passionate about it. I'm passionate about being on the radio. There's plans that I have in motion with this podcast that I am trying my ass off to put into motion. To have a future for this podcast. To have a community built for this podcast. And the community that I had built up this entire time I've been doing this. For those people out here that are just now checking out my the podcast, what you see is what you get, man. This is genuine reactions. No bullshit, no games, no beating around the bush shit. I see it. It is what it is. I see it on TV, and I get my genuine reaction to it. If you don't like it, then move on. But I'm not going to sit here and, I want to glaze WWE or glaze AEW. No, bro, it's the same reaction. If the shit's bad in WWE, I'm going to tell you all it's bad. If it's bad in AEW, I'm going to tell you the same shit with AEW. If it's good in WWE, vice versa for AEW. That's what we do here, bro. I'm not trying to get clicks. I'm not trying to get, he's just hating AEW just because he wants to get the attention. No, I don't. I'm trying to build a genuine community for me doing this podcast shit. I'm genuinely interested in doing this podcast stuff. I have a passion for it week in and week out. And I bust my ass to get this shit out. And bust my ass to get these reviews out and this content out because it's something that I am passionate about doing. You know what I mean? And there's other stuff that I'm willing to cover, man. I've even been contemplating covering MMA just because the knowledge base of mixed martial arts that I have. And it's something that I might be entertaining going into the new year in 2026. You know what I'm saying? Like, I have different ideas. I have plans that I want to do with this. I have a vision with this podcast. You know what I mean? It's much more than just YouTube and Spotify or wherever you guys are able to hear this podcast. There's definitely a huge vision at the end of the road of this, for sure. That's why I do what I do. That's why I work my ass off to the bone to put out content week in and week out. Sick, tired, or hurting. Because I'm trying to build something with this. I'm trying to build a community and something that, you know, who knows, maybe one day I could pass it down to my kids. You know what I mean? So, again, this is something where I do take it very seriously, but I also enjoy it. And I think a lot of people that do this content creator stuff, man, they just lost the excitement for it. They lost the enjoyment of doing it. It's just becoming more of a chore for them than anything else. It's becoming a burden almost. And to me, this is not a burden. You know what I mean? I enjoy what I'm doing. I enjoy watching AEW, and at times it's bad. There's some times that it's good. Like I said, you got to take the good when you can get it. And last night, I think the show was not that bad. Other people will disagree, and that's fine. They have their own opinions, but again, some of those opinions that those people have, man, I feel like it's out of pocket. It's out of the box. Saying the MJF is the only star in AEW, the only sole star of AEW, and the only person that's carrying this company on their back is absolutely insane. Absolutely insane, in my opinion, bro. And sitting here to saying that Swerve and Ospreay and Adam Page are not stars of AEW, I just think it's way out of pocket, and it's absolutely insane. But with that being said, this is my review of AEW's Dynamite. I hope you guys are out there staying safe. Be careful, and remember, stay classic. Peace.